In recent times, the dynamics of marriage have been a topic of much discussion. It's widely acknowledged that marriage has a significant impact on men's lives. When men decide to walk down the aisle, they often do so out of love and a desire to build a life with their partner. On the other hand, women's motivations for marriage can be quite different. For some, it can be seen as a business transaction. The question arises, will the situation for men in marriage change anytime soon? Recent years have seen some significant developments, particularly in the United States, which have provided a glimmer of hope for men. But can these changes truly make marriage a more attractive prospect for men? There is a collective desire among men to marry someone who values them for who they are, rather than being primarily concerned with their financial assets, cars, or bank balances. Men hope to form unions with partners who haven't already planned their divorce, complete with alimony demands. Paternity tests. The recent shifts in laws and regulations offer a starting point. Initiatives such as mandatory paternity tests at birth in Tennessee, the removal of no-fault divorce in Texas, and the elimination of permanent alimony in Florida are steps in the right direction. However, it's essential that these changes become the norm across all states. To put this in perspective, consider a business partnership. No sane person would willingly enter into a business agreement where, in the event of dissolution, one partner takes full control of the company's assets and income while the other partner is left with no choice but to provide support. However, this is often the reality in many marriages due to existing laws, making it a precarious situation for men. The damage incurred from years of neglecting these issues to maintain a steady income for the government runs deep. Even though the recent legal changes are positive steps, they might not be enough to transform the marriage landscape completely. Predictably, these new laws face significant pushback from certain quarters. Consequently, marriage still seems like a lose-lose situation for many men who are reluctant to embrace the associated risks. The concern is valid, given the magnitude and depth of these challenges. A key challenge is the fact that women may be the primary beneficiaries of the existing system, as they prioritize financial gain over other values such as love, honor, duty, morality, or ethics. Equality between genders has been a long-standing goal. Therefore, any claim of unfairness in this system raises questions. Women have achieved significant progress and independence, which should be celebrated as mission accomplished. Demanding continued financial support from men doesn't align with the principles of equality and independence. One unfortunate consequence of these dynamics is the emotional and mental turmoil experienced by many women today, often leading to physical and psychological breakdowns. The blame game and constant tearing down of one another further exacerbate this situation. As a result, a sense of chaos pervades the dating scene, making it difficult for young people to find positive role models and nurturing relationships. Tragic court rulings. Tragically, the effects of family court rulings have contributed to a sharp increase in the male suicide rate. This alarming trend is closely associated with the no-fault divorce laws implemented in the early 1970s. The significant rise in male suicides, amounting to approximately 50,000 in Canada and 500,000 in the United States, can be considered a form of gender-based genocide, driven by certain feminist ideologies. These ideologies, while differing in specifics, share a common thread of female supremacy, akin to historical ideologies seen in various parts of the world. The implications are profound as we grapple with the destructive consequences of these systems and ideologies. At their core, they challenge the principles of justice, equality, and human rights. In summary, the state of marriage today is one marked by complexity and ongoing debate. The implications of these discussions go far beyond the scope of personal relationships. They extend to societal values, laws, and the profound impact on the well-being and choices of individuals. I hold the belief that children should ideally be brought into a married household. This signifies that the parents have already lived together and made a conscious, lifelong choice to have children. In cases where a child is born to an unmarried couple, I propose a different approach. Instead of offering monetary assistance to the mother, channel resources into marriage counseling to help couples address their differences and strengthen their relationships. If you decide to have a child with someone, you should be willing to fight for that relationship, and the welfare of your children should be paramount. However, it's not lost on me that even with these changes, the consequences of past decisions persist, and it will likely take decades to rectify the damage. The government, women, and the legal system have played roles in this, driven by greed, ignorance, and self-centeredness. For men, it's becoming increasingly clear that marriage may not be a wise choice for the foreseeable future. It's vital to educate young males about the potential pitfalls of marriage and to be cautious when making such a commitment. This is just the beginning. Until laws offer comprehensive protection for men, getting married or having children should be approached with extreme caution. I'm one of the millions of men who married, only to have my partner leave without any discussion. This experience reinforces the idea that having children should ideally occur within a marriage, where the foundation is honesty and loyalty. A safer way for a man to consider marriage is if the woman earns more and there are no children involved, particularly concerning financial stability. However, for many men, especially those who don't conform to traditional standards of attractiveness, the challenges of marriage are considerable. Unfortunately, lower beauty standards often come into play, as attractive women might not consider a man who makes less than they do. The root of the problem lies in the education we've received about gender equality. In the past, men played a pivotal role as providers and protectors. Failures in these roles could lead to social ostracism or divorce. However, the feminist-driven no-fault divorce movement has drastically altered this dynamic. Men who grew up in an era of feminism are now tasked with fulfilling multiple roles, including paying child support and alimony while fighting for custody of their children. Mandatory paternity testing, along with consequences for fraud, is a step in the right direction. Each case of alimony and child support should be carefully considered, acknowledging that the workforce should be gender neutral. There is no room for discrimination based on gender. The focus should be on completing the task at hand. Legally, no man should sign a birth certificate without DNA confirmation of paternity to eliminate paternity fraud. Child custody arrangements should include mandatory parenting courses, with both parents committing to care for their children, regardless of their relationship status. It's undeniable that men today don't need to adhere to traditional roles any longer. They no longer have to be the sole breadwinners or partners if women find them attractive. Instead, men can let women come to them. The idea that men should split their assets due to a unilateral decision to end a relationship is evolving. The standards men place on themselves are changing, driven by shifts in societal dynamics. This shift might free men from the traditional roles they've held and provide them with more personal freedom and financial independence. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.